British fans, as you saw here in Austin, Texas. If you are out in Europe and you are thinking of a Grand Prix overseas, this will be one of those that we would highly recommend. It is such a wonderful atmosphere here in Austin, Texas, and well, the biggest party of all will be that held by the Dixon clan later on tonight.
Great scenes, what a day there for Luca Boscoscura, just to the left of your picture, congratulating one of his 3 podium finishers, a lockout for the Italian manufacturer. Well, what is going through the mind right now of Manu Gonzalez? He took the huge gamble, the huge risky decision to start that wet Grand Prix on full Pirelli slick tyres, which is somewhat surprising given the fact that just moments before he made that call, he spoke to Jack down on the grid and said, sector 4's full wet, I'm going to go with wet tyres. Something clearly swayed him from going on to the Pirelli wets. As Lewis mentioned, it may well have been the fact he was so off the pace on Friday on the rain tyres. But at the moment, Moto2 2025 is all about Brit Jake Dixon. Back to back, start to finish, dominant victories in both Termas de Rio Hondo and now here in Texas. He has been desperate to sort of play down expectations, give me 4 or 5 Grand Prix to really fully understand this Boscoscura package. Well, he has hit the ground running, hasn't he, Jake Dixon? A solid 7th place to kick off his new adventure with Marc VDS in Thailand. And since that moment, he has not seen another rear tyre in the Moto2 Grand Prix.
Apart from when he was lapping people today.
Well, yeah, apart from when he was lapping people, yeah.
So far ahead he was of those who ran the dry tyres today. And those wet tyres looking in pretty good shape, aren't they? Given the journey they've been on, they just did not wear out. That was the only hope for the riders on slicks, that the wet tyres would fall off a cliff and bring them back into play. That did not happen.
That was a nice shot there, of course. A former personal manager and still a great friend of Jake Dixon. Alex Marquez's, Fermin Aldeguer's current MotoGP crew chief, Frankie Carcetti, just to come and join in the celebrations. Bolton's Bahami Army. We've got some fans who made the long trip then from Lancashire. Tony Arbolino, of course, very well known to the Elfmark VDS racing team. It didn't work out. Joe Roberts will tell you, having started in 19th place this home Grand Prix, well, he definitely was worth the risk going on to the slick tyres. Unfortunately, there was no repeat of his awesome ride to 2nd place here 1 year ago. As Roberts took the checker flag, he was actually the last rider out on circuit, 25th place. So then he's getting the selfies ready. So is the Boscoscura team, as very, very shortly we're going to be hearing from Alonso Lopez, who's going to come and have a little bit of a chat with us. That would have felt like a very long 16 laps in those testing conditions. Alonso Lopez though on the podium here in Austin, and he's for Jack.
Alonso, congratulations, a great ride in difficult conditions, first podium of the year. How nice is it to finally get started?
Yeah, it was incredible, to be honest, because I didn't feel quite good, but with these kind of conditions it was more easy for me to be on the top. But Jake and Tony ride in amazing way. I can't follow them, but I'm quite happy with this 3rd position, and I think that I need to start working in a little bit different way, because it's difficult for me on dry conditions, but I'm sure that I will be there soon.
Great ride, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great ride, to be fair to the 23-year-old Spaniard. He hadn't finished higher than 8th in his previous 7 starts, so it's a welcome return to the top 3. And as you mentioned, that would have felt like a long race for Lopez, because he was on his tart for much of it. 12.6 seconds behind race winner Jake Dixon. He was 8.5 seconds behind 2nd place Tony Arbolino, and there was a huge gap then back to Canet in 4th place. Nearly 16 seconds between the 2 Spaniards. Just shows that the superiority of Dixon in that Grand Prix, when the rider in 4th place, he's no mug, he's no slouch, is he? Aaron Canet was almost 30 seconds, half a minute back. First Boscoscura podium of the season then for Tony Arbolino. Let's hear his thoughts with Jack.
Tony, congratulations, back onto the podium. I think it's safe to say that you love Austin. Victory here before, and now second place with the new team.
I mean, yeah. I'm happy about the second place. I mean, when I have the win in front of me, I feel like I want to reach it always, but yeah, Dixon today was super fast, I have to say. So congrats to the team, and I want to thank all my team, all my people. Believe from the test, we believe a lot to the work, and we keep growing every time. So yeah, I need to enjoy this podium now.
Congratulations.
Sure, we will enjoy that podium as well. Great way to mark his 150th Grand Prix start then for Tiger Tony. Checkered flag, he was 4.1 seconds behind Jake Dixon. Finally, he gets a bit of momentum into his championship charge. There's nothing wrong with the momentum, nothing wrong with the confidence right now of Jake Dixon. For the first time in his career, he makes it back-to-back Grand Prix victories. He's your new Moto 2 World Championship leader. Let's hear him with Jack.
Jake, huge congratulations. What a 2 weeks you've had. Victory in Argentina, a trip to Disneyland with the family, and now victory here in Austin to take control of the World Championship. How good is life right now?
Oh, honestly, I love this place. I've loved it from the minute I first come here. I can't thank the fans enough. I hope you enjoyed that one. It was definitely nerve-wracking for me, but yeah, it's just a massive credit to the team, the Mark VDS team. They're just an absolute, just class outfit. I can't thank them all enough. All my boys, my family, Sarah's here, my daughter Summer's here. My mum and everyone are watching. Happy Mother's Day to my mum, happy Mother's Day to Sarah, and happy Mother's Day to everyone out here. So,
congrats, well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, brilliant job by Jake Dixon. Yes, it is Mothering Sunday back at home in the UK, so a nice little gesture there from Jake, and it was a pretty raucous yeehaw, wasn't it, to come and speak to Jack. Sometimes you just have to take your hat off, as Tony Arbolino said, to a rider who at the moment, as he mentioned, is just on the top of his game. Thanking quite rightfully so there as well the work done behind the scenes by Mark VDS Racing. Of course, coming into this season they had no experience themselves of working with the Boscoscuro chassis. I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's fair to say that we have a very deliriously happy Dixon right now in Parc Ferme, and for very good reason, because there's been a big swing in the World Championship battle early on here in Texas. Dixon came here 11 points behind Manu Gonzalez. He's going to leave it, 13 clear?
Baron Canet, who now moves into second place. Of course, that crash for Vietti late on promoted Canet up into fourth place. He leapfrogs Gonzalez, who's now third in the World Championship, 14 points behind your new championship leader, Jake Dixon.
Well, to crack COTA in 2025 Moto 2, you needed Pirelli Rain Rubber. That's exactly what the top three opted for. The 6 riders who took the big risk of starting on slick tyres, well, right from the get-go, right from the grid, right from the launch up to the first corner, those 6 must have known that they were already in big trouble. A race of survival for the likes of Moreira, Gonzalez, Aegis Arenas, Joe Robertson, Philip Salachu. I didn't see the checkered flag. He entered the pits and retired. It's a fair play to Moreira. He actually did finish the top of the small group of slick tyre runners. Celestino Vietti did remount and finish 20th after he crashed twice in 2 corners very late on, as he was threatening Lopez for the final place on the podium. You can see there, nice gesture by Ethan Guevara. He's coming to join the first ever Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha Moto 2 celebrations, as Tony Arbolino takes second place.
What a day for Luca Boscoscuro, who you also saw down there in Parc Ferme. If you want to be competitive in the wet fields, certainly this weekend in Austin, Texas, you need one of his motorcycles, one of his chassis. The Boscoscuro, clearly the class of the field in the wet. They locked out the top 3, and 5 of the top 6 in the end were Boscoscuros. Would have been 6 of the top 7 had we not lost Celestino Vietti to 2 crashes late on. But rather fittingly, it's Jake Dixon's crew chief, Lucio De Castro, who will accept the constructor prize. He's been the crew chief of the winner here in 2 of the last 3 years now, with Tony Arbolino. 2 of the last 4, should I say. Arbolino winner in 2022, of course, before he was beaten the year after by Pedro Acosta. He returns to the podium then in Austin, Texas for the 3rd time. But standing on the very top of it, another rider who's been on the podium here before. His first Grand Prix podium came here 3 years ago. Today, though, Jake Dixon is your runaway winner. The Constructors' Prize will be handed over to Luciano Castro. Second winning 3 then for Marc VDS and for Boscoscuro, who take over as the leaders of the Constructors' Championship now. Point clear of Calex. Jet Lawrence, Supercross superstar, will hand over a trophy to Alonso Lopez. As mentioned, he's had to wait since Indonesia last year. 16th Moto2 podium for him. Tony Arbolino, it's his 17th podium in this intermediate class. And the first in the Blue Crew Pramac colours. His teammate Ethan Guevara watches on. Fit for him today. Fine ride for the young Spaniard, but the runaway winner back to back for the Brit. Domination for Dixon, who wins in Austin.
Dixon dominant in Termas, Jake Dixon dominant in Texas as he moves into the lead in the Moto2 World Championship. The form of his life. What a purple patch this is right now for your COTA Grand Prix winner. He absolutely ran away with it, over 4 seconds clear of Tony Arbolino.
A Boscoscuro 1, 2, 3, back-to-back wins for Jake Dixon, Arbolino and Lopez on the podium. Aaron Canet promoted to 4th by Vietti's late pair of crashes. Ethan Guevara in 5th place, his best result of the season so far. A top 6 for the rookie Ivan Ortola, fine job for him. Balta Spade to 7th ahead of Holgado, Adji and Vaya. Career best for both Adji and Vaya, his first top 10 in Moto2. Ramirez 11th ahead of Oscar Gutierrez, who scores points as he continues to stand in for Sergio Garcia. Zonta van den Goldberg 13th. David Alonso registers his first Moto2 points in 14th. A .2 for Alex Escreech and forward. Nothing for the riders who started on slicks, who only completed 15 of our 16 laps. So we have a new World Championship leader in Moto2. It is Jake Dixon. He leads Aaron Canet now by 13 points. Gonzalez drops 2 places as punishment for his decision to run slicks. He's now 3rd ahead of Alonso Lopez and Tony Arbolino. Marcos Ramirez falling today to 6th after he failed to make the top 10 today.